Millions of completely automated text-to-music tracks are pouring out of servers and flooding Spotify and Apple Music every day. Programmers with no musical background are now generating fake virtual artists, like the recent country persona, Nash Blackwood, to game the recommendation algorithms. Every time one of these tracks autoplays, it siphons money from the royalty pool, leaving real artists with pennies. The resulting backlash has forced streaming platforms to scramble. Tidal recently rewrote its entire policy to filter out and entirely demonetize any unflagged AI music because listeners are demanding more human-led curation. This friction is also costing people their jobs. Native Hawaiian artist Kalani Pea and other practitioners have seen state agencies use AI-generated music that mispronounces native words instead of hiring local cultural musicians. Right now, much of the industry sees artificial intelligence as a replacement machine designed to devalue human craftsmanship. But while the instinct is to block the technology entirely, a total ban might also destroy a vital tool for independent creators. The recording industry has met this automation with massive litigation. The RIIA has launched sweeping copyright infringement lawsuits against AI platforms like Suno and Udio, seeking up to $150,000 in damages for every generated song. These lawsuits claim the models were built by scraping decades of recorded history. Chuck Berry's catalog, along with millions of other iconic tracks, was fed into these algorithms without consent or compensation. Independent artists are joining the fight. Country singer Tony Justice and his label recently filed class action lawsuits against these same AI generators to represent creators outside the major label system. Justice argues that while the majors protect their catalogs, independent artists are being trampled. Their life's work is being used to train models that produce competing music, yet they are excluded from the bargaining table. For both corporate giants and bedroom musicians, the fear is identical. Their intellectual property is being used to build the very tools that could eventually replace them. Despite the lawsuits, a paradox is emerging. Universal Music Group CEO Lucian Grange and other executives are simultaneously forming strategic partnerships with the AI platforms they are suing, including Suno and Udio. The majors recognize that generative music is inevitable. By partnering with these companies, they are pivoting to control the licensing, ensuring they hold the keys to the commercial AI ecosystem. Controlling these licenses allows the major labels to maintain their role as gatekeepers. The analog gear in this vintage studio represents the historic financial wall they have used to stay in power for decades. Historically, a professional sound required thousands of dollars for studio time, specialized sound engineers, and session musicians. Prolific songwriters with limited budgets were simply locked out of the industry. Independent artists who support a blanket ban on AI risk protecting the label's financial fortress. Without these new tools, independent music often remains underground because it cannot afford the high cost of production. A technical distinction exists between using AI as a replacement and using it as a tool. One relies on a text prompt to create art. The other uses audio-to-audio enhancement to refine a human performance. Consider an independent songwriter who has already written the lyrics, mapped out the chords, and composed the melody. They have the art, but they only have the budget to record a raw, acoustic demo at home. Using a platform like musicful.ai, the artist can build a professional arrangement directly around that human foundation. The original lyrics, the emotional phrasing, and the core chord progressions remain unchanged. This process preserves human authorship while enhancing the presentation. Musical.ai functions as a virtual session band and an on-demand audio engineer. It executes the artist's vision without the traditional costs of a physical studio. In this workflow, the human remains the author. The algorithm provides the financial leverage to finish what the songwriter started. There is a sharp audible difference between a bedroom demo and a radio-ready track. To compete on streaming platforms, a song needs a level of polish that has historically been out of reach for the average creator. The professional polish provided by an engineer at a massive mixing desk is now something a bedroom artist can replicate through software. The industry certainly needs reform. We need strict copyright protections against unlicensed scraping and filters to stop automated prompt grifters from gaming royalty payouts. However, legitimate anger over automated slop can easily lead independent musicians to block a tool that finally challenges the industry's cost of entry. These tools remove the financial gatekeepers that have historically suppressed grassroots talent. Independent artists now have a chance to use this technology to dismantle the recording industry's financial walls. The real victory is not in destroying these tools, but in using them to level the playing field.